That's Christy O'Sullivan. Christy, what's your reading of the first half?
My reading of the first half, Michael, is that Canovee have been far more economical in their use of the ball. From my statistics here, if they're correct, they've scored a goal and 3 points in the first half and 3 wides, whereas Ballyvourney have scored 6 points and they have scored 5 wides, if my figures are correct.
Now, the first 15 minutes, there's no doubt about it that Ballyvourney were dominating, particularly around the area of the field, the midfield, half forward, half back line. But suddenly, Canovee seemed to make a number of changes. Now, they reverted back to their original positions, but I think those changes seemed to swing the play in Canovee's favour, and in fact, the goal resulted from the fact that Canovee were getting the ascendancy.
The Ballyvourney forwards seemed to be lying too far out when the ball was going in. The ball was being delivered in high and long from midfield, and they seemed to be too far out, and there was a lot of balls hopped inside the 14-yard line and hopped out wide, whereas especially with the wind and sun to their backs, they should have been lying in around the goal, and I think they would possibly have picked up a few scores from breaking balls.
Liam, just turning back to you for a second. Obviously, at this stage, Canovee would appear to be slightly in the ascendancy. What do you think Ballyvourney can do, or is there any changes that they can do at half-time to swing the game around?
Well, I've no doubt but that Johnny Moynihan and John Sullivan are winning the battle at centre field now after the first 10 minutes when Ballyvourney were ahead there. And they're winning it because they're not contesting the ball to field it cleanly. They're breaking the ball down to their half-forwards. And if you looked at, they've got a goal and maybe 2 or 3 chances of scores from centre field men being loose off the break at centre field because of this, and the ball came, the goal came, would say, up that wing with a spare man, and Ballyvourney I think will have to start doing the same thing. If Canovee aren't going to contest the ball to win it cleanly at centre field, Ballyvourney want to start breaking it down to their own men and not to be jumping for possession all the time at this stage. Definitely Ballyvourney had the initiative, we'll say, with the scoring goals, but I still think that they can do it. They'll have to make it harder for themselves. If they'll get the break, there is a goal in that full forward line with Kevin Lynch or Dan Healy or Jerry Hoare are liable to get a goal as well. And it depends on when they do get it, if they do, if it came at the right time. But then again, Canovee are Canovee, and you can never underestimate them.
Finally, Christy, we had heard earlier in the week of the injuries to both Paddy Meegan and Mickey Ring. Now, Ring has scored a goal and Meegan has been very effective in the full back line. How serious, in fact, were those injuries, if they were serious at all?
Yeah. Those injuries were serious, and we are keeping our fingers crossed that both players would line out, because they would be a big loss to the team. Not alone the players themselves, but also, as you will appreciate, the psychological effect on the remainder of the team if 2 key players are missing for a final. So they're standing up well. I think this is far superior to any fitness test, and so far they have come through, and hopefully they will remain to the end of the game, because they are both vital to our chances today.
Thank you, Christy, and we'll be hearing more from you at the end of the game, as we now turn back to the field and listen for a moment to the playing of the Cullen Pipe Band. for the start of the second half, as we watch referee Donald Buckley just looking around to see is everything in readiness for the start of this second half. The scores level at half time, 1 goal and 3 points to 6 points, as he throws the ball in and it's fisted out there to the far side of the field and punched on there and out to Mickey Ring. Mickey now dodging around, Tim Barry Murphy, and Tim now soling in towards the centre of the field. In fact, is after over playing the ball, and it will be a free out to Ballyvourney over there on the far side of the field, about 40 metres out from the goal. Standing back is Mickey Lynch, and Mickey coming up now, kicking right-footed and sending Ballyvourney on the attack. The ball being fisted out there, and to John Granger, and John will put Ballyvourney on the defensive, as Alan Butler comes over now and picks the ball up and dodges his man and will kick right-footed out to the far side of the field, and it's picked up there by John Granger to John Barry Murphy, and John now will send Canovee on the attack, but John in fact is fouled, and it will be a free to Canovee, dead straight in front of us. Referee telling him to move the ball back, and now it's Johnny Moynihan taking a short chip out to Mickey Ring, and Mickey picks it up and fists it in to the centre of the field to Johnny Moynihan. Johnny now looking up and kicking a high one right into the Ballyvourney goal, and it's fisted out there to Tim Barry Murphy, and Tim now to Frankie Welch, and Frankie now kicks it to sends it to John Barry Murphy, and John sends it over the bar. So after 1.5 minutes of the second half, John Barry Murphy puts Canovee into a 1 point lead, 1 goal and 4 points to Ballyvourney's 6 points, as Micheál Creedon, after donning a cap, the sun shining directly into his eyes, comes up now, kicks this one left-footed out to the side of the field, over the halfway line. It's fisted on there, and it's Teddy Dunn, and Teddy gets a boot to it and sends it out to the side of the field, but it's picked up by a Ballyvourney man, and it's Allen, number 6. Allen fists the ball low in towards Lynch, and Lynch hops the ball and now goes straight past Moynihan and sends Ballyvourney on the attack. Still Lynch kicking it right-footed in towards the goal, but out to the right and wide.
On the Ballyvourney team there, I see that Donald Cronin has gone in centre forward, Sean Toomey has gone out left half forward, and at centre field now you have the two big men, the two Diarmads, Diarmid O'Leincha and Diarmid McCara. So the Ballyvourney trying to bring Donald Cronin, and very ineffective Donald Cronin the first half, into the play now and moving Sean Toomey out of midfield.
So switches all over the Ballyvourney team in an effort to get themselves out of this crisis that they find themselves in at the moment, as it will be perhaps a hot ball there, or in fact it will be a free to Canovee, about 35-40 metres out from their own goal, over there on the far side of the field. So now it will be John Granger coming up now, left-footed out to the side of the field, a high one, punch forward there to Diarmid Lynch, and Diarmid now will send Ballyvourney on the attack. It's tackled there and finds himself the ham in the sandwich, but in fact he gets an effective ball right into Petty Megan. Not very effective, as Megan kicks the ball out to the far side of the field. Ring is tackled but gets the ball again, and is surrounded by a Ballyvourney player, and in fact it will be a free to Canovee over there on the far side of the field, as Mickey Ring picked the ball off the ground. So it will be a free kick to Ballyvourney over there on the far side of the field, and Jerry Lynch to take it. Jerry being told to move the ball back by referee Buckley from Ballincollig. So far has been well in charge of this clean game. So now he comes up and kicks it now right out to the far side of the field. It's Dan Healy tussling out there with Eddie Lynch, and Lynch in fact takes the ball out over the line, and it will be a line ball away out there on the far side of the field, to be taken by Diarmid Lynch under the shade of the trees there at the golf course end of this scenic and picturesque Castle grounds. Coming in now, kicking it a low one into Healy, and Healy turns past his man and kicks it right in across the square to number 11 there, McCarthy, Diarmid McCarthy, fisted out the field. to Alan Butler, and Alan will send a high Gary Owen right up into the square. It's fisted out there by one of the Ballyvourney, from the Ballyvourney forwards by Megan, and Megan to John Barry Murphy, and John sends it away out the field, but it's picked up there by Alan. Alan straight into the hands of a Canovee player who is in fact pushed. So it will be a foul there on Johnny Allen over there on the far side of the field. So with 5.5 minutes gone in the second half here in Macroom, it's Jerry Lynch or Dermot McCarthy, Jerry McCarthy kicking that one right into the square, but it's up by Dermot McCarthy, and Dermot will kick that one out to the left and wide. So still with coming up to 6 minutes gone in the second half, it's 1-4 for Canovee, 6 points for Navalvaughan. So a 1 point lead for Canovee in this close, exciting 1988 Junior 1 football final. As Coughlin places the ball on the edge of the square and prepares to kick the ball out. So switches on the Canovee defence as Moynihan picks the ball up there, but in fact loses it now, and the ball is coming out the side of the field, and it's kicked on there for Ballyvourney right up along the wing, and it's picked up there by Kevin Lynch, and Kevin fisted right in to Dermot Lynch. Dermot still travelling right into the square. Danger here for Canovee as the ball is picked up there by Jerry Lynch, and Jerry still has the ball and kicks it right across to Cronin, and Cronin kicks it, but in fact it's gone out wide. So chance has gone a begging there in the last minute or so for Ballyvourney. Liam, your thoughts on the first 7 minutes of the second half?
There's no doubt at this stage that Ballyvourney are being kind of hit by a savage dose of squander mania. There's 3 chances, one from Donald Cronin, one from Kevin Lynch, and one from David McCarthy that are gone wide. And with all the play of the second half, they find them themselves in arrears by the only score of the second half against the run of play from Canovee. That's what I'll be afraid of.
So Brendan Coughlin standing just to the left of his goalpost, coming up now and taking this ball, kicking it out. It's fisted on there and straight into the hands of a Canovee player, and it's DC now, Jimmy DC, sending Canovee on the attack. But it's picked up there by number 2 for Ballyvourney, Kaler out to Murphy, and Murphy out to Alan Butler, and Alan Butler rounds his man and comes over the halfway line. A low one in now to Teddy Dunn, and Teddy will clear it, fist it out to the far side there to John Barry Murphy, and John now will steady himself up solo and kick the ball left-footed into the field. It's fisted out there by Jimmy Deasy, and now it's John O'Sullivan, the centre field man for Canovee, is foul there, and it will be yet another chance for Canovee to launch an attack as we come up to the 8th minute of the second half, as we have a sub on the Ballyvourney team, Coleman Toomey, the trainer of the team, coming on for Sean Toomey. So Coleman Toomey for Sean Toomey, Toomey replacing Toomey on the Ballyvourney team. As we watch this free for Canovee by Johnny Moynihan, and Johnny kicking it right into the square out to Tim Barry Murphy. Tim, the sharpshooter, is fouled, and it will be a free in, or a free. Tim Barry Murphy actually fouling that one, so it will be a free out to be taken by Navalvaughan goalkeeper Micheál Creedon. Micheál, who has played at every level of football, served in goal for Cork for quite a number of years, won an intermediate title with Ballyvourney back in 1977 when they beat Castlehaven down in that infamous final in Bandon, and from that ball out in the centre of the field, it's a free to Ballyvourney. And now it is Jerry Lynch coming up and kicking it way out to the left, up there right for it, and straight back into the hands of Paddy Meagan. Paddy, full back on the team, kicking the ball way out to the far side of the field, but in fact it's gone right out over the sideline near the Canovee dugout. All the Canovee and Ballyvourney mentors and substitutes out of the dugout there, watching every moment of this 1988 Junior 1 football final as Canovee lead by 1 point as we come up to the 10th minute of the second half, and the ball is now over there on the far wing, and it's Jerry Hoare. Jerry now trying to launch an attack, kicking the ball right across the square, and it's picked up there for Ballyvourney and fisted out to Diarmid Lynch, and Diarmid kicks it wide, and Liam was talking about the squandermania there a few moments ago. It's still very much in evidence as the Ballyvourney forwards have squandered 4 scoreable opportunities in the first 11 or 10 and a half minutes of the second half. Opportunities that could be ruled a little bit later on in the game, as Brendan Coughlin standing now in the shade behind his goal and kicks this one out to the 40-metre line to Frankie Welch, and Frankie will send Canovee on the attack, and it's picked up on this side of the field into one of the midfielders, to John O'Sullivan. John, whose father was the grounds development chairman out there in Canovee last year when they opened their new pitch and dressing rooms at a cost of over £100,000, and great credit must go to them that not one penny of that £100,000 was borrowed, which is something that too many clubs in the county can't boast about. And from that free, the ball is picked up there by a Canovee man and sent straight back to John O'Sullivan, and John to Johnny Moynihan, and Johnny now will try and launch an attack for Canovee and kicks that one right into the goal, but in fact it's gone out to the right and wide. So with 11 and a half minutes gone here in the second half, Canovee still lead by the only point scored in the second half, as Micheál Creedon, sun in his eyes, walks well back behind the goal. So Frankie Welch out left forward for Canovee, as Creedon comes up now and kicks this one left-footed, dropping out around the 50 metres line. It's picked up there by number 8, and number 8 for Naverbawn, that's Jerry Lynch, out since Ballyvourney on the attack, but it's straight into the hands of Teddy Dunn, and Teddy kicks it right out over the side of the field, and it's now Alan Butler, and Alan now will send Ballyvourney on the attack. It's with Lynch, and Lynch now to Jerry Hoare, and Jerry now with a chance to put Ballyvourney on the attack, fist the ball out to Diarmid McCarthy. What can Diarmid, the captain, do with this? He's shouldered, but still manages to come right into the edge of the square, is fouled. So it will be Donald Healy to take this free. Donald, who scored 2 goals so far in the championship. So Donald now, can he equalise for Ballyvourney? No, in fact he can't, and there's oohs and ahs around me here in the commentary position, as 5 opportunities for Ballyvourney have all gone a begging in the second half, as we come up to the 13 and a half minutes.
Statistic, Michael, is it's 10 wides to 4 for Canovee, and they're leading by a point. I don't think that Donald Healy should have been left to take that one. Kevin Lynch is kicking great frees in the first half, and he'd have scored that one as well. It's unfair of Donald to give him his first one in a pressure situation.
So major problems in the Ballyvourney forward line, as from that kick out, the ball comes to, and it's straight into the hands there of Micheál Creedon. In fact, I said it's Micheál's first block today from play, and now it's Sean Kaler. Sean kicking the ball up, but straight into the hands of Jerry Lynch, and Jerry is fouled, and it will be a free to Ballyvourney, almost on the dead centre of the field. So a substitute on the Canovee team, John Nyan, replacing Tim O'Leary. So this free in for Ballyvourney is picked up there by Teddy Dunn, and Teddy kicks it out here, but in fact it's picked up there by number 5, and number 5 is Alan Butler, and Alan now will send Ballyvourney on the attack, sends it over to Diarmid Lynch. What can Diarmid do with this? Trying to burrow his way through, head down, going forward. Is tackled there round the neck by one of the Canovee defenders, and it will be a free in to Ballyvourney. So what can they do in this vital, with this vital free? So as we come up to the 15th minute of the second half, so one of the Ballyvourney player, they're waiting to take the free, but in the meantime there's a Canovee player. We think it's so now it's Diarmid Lynch with this opportunity to put, so it's straight over the bar, and Diarmid Lynch brings Ballyvourney right back into it as we come up to the 16th minute of the second half. Diarmid brings the teams all level here in the 1988 Junior 1 football final. The score after 16 minutes, it's Ballyvourney 7 points and Canovee 1 goal and 4 points. A most opportune time to hand over to my co-commentator Liam Weir for the remainder of the second half.
Thank you very much, Michael. It's hard to believe that Ballyvourney wins 16 minutes with total domination to score, but it's Canovee on the attack out in the centre of the field. A free there, and Canovee moving away, getting the ball down, and it's Johnny Moynihan to kick this one for them. So all to play for less than half of the second half remaining, 14 minutes to go, and it's level. This one coming into the Canovee man who's in front, misjudges it. It still goes in towards Mickey Ring over on the far side of the field. Referee Donald Buckley, however, had blown up until be a free in to Canovee as the substitute there who came on. Teddy Dunn has come on for Dan Murphy in defence as this one now by their sharp shooting full forward Tim Barrymurphy to kick this one just inside the 50 or the 45 metre line, about 47 yards out from the Ballyvourney goal, and a chance for Canovee to go back in front again. It's a while since they made a visit down this way. What did Tim do? Dropping it in front of the goal. It's broken down inside. It's in the Canovee man's hands. He's on the edge of the square. Hand passes out short and quickly, but that one goes wide. It was John Barrymurphy, I think, who kicked that one. Eventually, a short pass, tight covering by the Ballyvourney defence. No chance going, and that one screwed off the outside of his left-hand boot and wide. Micheál Creed need only go to the edge of the small square this time. 1 goal and 4 points for Canovee. That's a total of 7 to the 7 points for Ballyvourney, and Ballyvourney failing dismally to translate possession into scores on the scoreboard, find themselves at level pegging. Alan Butler has had a good second half, and just as I speak he makes a right hash of that one, and Canovee regain the initiative. This is John Granger being chased by Jerry Lynch. A good tackle there by Sean Kelleher, not in the eyes of referee Donald Buckley, and referee Donald penalises Sean Kelleher. Sean, protesting his innocence, seemed to run into his shoulder. Jerry Lynch was there as well. Jerry and Donald having words. Remember, they were colleagues together in the great Musgrave team of 1970 that won the county when they beat Nemo Rangers in the old athletic grounds on a famous day, Musgrave's only senior county victory. Today they're all on different sides because Donald is the man in the middle, Farna Fadoga, as we have another substitute on the Ballyvourney team. Paddy Lynch, who has been omitted for today, is being brought on. I can't see yet who's going off, but we'll look at Tim Barrymurphy kicking this one. Donald Cronin is being moved to the wing again. Paddy going in centre forward as Tim Barrymurphy swings this one dangerously in front of the goal. Paddy Murphy, a tower of strength, gets it out, not the most accurate one, only as far as Johnny Moynihan, and Johnny Moynihan's shot tailing off and going wide, so Ballyvourney let off the hook that time by the Canovee centre fielder. Ní other Kate I'm heading back to Ballyvourney. Tá Padraig O'Lean she gimmert, so Lena Lahasachar Law. Paddy Lynch on. Hard to see who's gone. Maybe Jerry Hoare. I don't see Jerry on the field. Jerry, who got 2 points in the first half, was very effective in the opening period. This one dropping into the centre. Diarmid McCarthy and Johnny Moynihan. It's the man from Ballyvourney winning the battle on this occasion. It doesn't come for him on the hop. Thought he was going to get a free. Left footed out the wing towards the left half back, Liam Ford. Will Liam make it before the sideline does? Liam in possession. Being chased by John Barrymurphy, driving along direct ball in towards the full forward line. Coleman Toomey brings down 2 Ballyvourney men. as eventually Canovee raise the siege and get it out. Jerry free in the centre, comes off his leg, blocks it with his body, gets it as well as Jerry Hoare, Neil Jerry, Paddy Lynch, but Paddy Lynch picked it off the ground. So I thought for 1 second it was the bearded Jerry Hoare, it's the bearded substitute was being introduced, Paddy Lynch. He picked that one clear and clean off the ground in front of referee Donald Buckley, and it's a free out for Canovee to be taken by Eddie Lynch. Eddie, who started at corner back, moved out to left half back and now gone into the corner again. Kicks this one, nice long lazy kick, up they go for it. Paddy Murphy, Paddy beaten on this occasion, Canovee on the attack. In it comes towards the edge of the square, Sean Kelleher driving across, Canovee man fails to pick up, comes down, Paddy Murphy going for it, Liam Ford going to bend the back, and Liam picks it up, evading the challenges of two Canovee men getting it up along the sideline, out over the sideline on the Schlaveen side of the Castle grounds, and it's a sideline ball to Canovee with just under 10 minutes of play gone, remaining 9.5 minutes left. The scores are level. The next score will be crucial. This one dropping about the 50-yard line. Jerry Free goes up for Ballyvourney, and Jerry holds it in a Cook-Culling fashion, coming away, but he's fouled, and there's a free out for Ballyvourney. Paddy Murphy, the fullback, who's moved away out from goal to take this one. I think that Johnny Allen has gone in fullback with Paddy out now in the pivotal position of centre half-back. Johnny gone in to put the shackles on Tim Ballymurphy. Paddy kicks this one long. Yet another ball up towards the half-forward line. Donald Cronin breaks it down, but across comes a very alert Kennedy man to pick it up and set his own team on the attack again. This one going to go over Johnny Allen's head, but he did very well to hold it and is crudely tackled as he came away on that occasion. And I'm sure we will have a name going into the book. It is the Canovee substitute. Is it? It's not. It's Frank Welch, the corner forward, being sternly spoken to by referee Donald Buckley. His name is the first name entered in the journal of Donald Buckley this afternoon, and it'll be a free out to Ballyvourney, and I'm sure it'll be Paddy Murphy to take it. I wonder what he's thinking now. His team had total possession for the first 20 minutes of the second half. They failed to convert that into scores. They still are on even Steven, 7 points to 1-4 with 21, nearly 22 minutes gone in the second half. Paddy O'Moroku with Taktamak hits it long into the centre. Diarmuid McCarthy going for this one with Johnny Minan. Breaks it down nicely to another veteran on the Ballyvourney side, Liam Ford. Liam Ford brought to ground about 50 yards out from the Canovee goal. And once more we have another free into Ballyvourney. But are they ever going to be convert these opportunities into scores? They're still only level. 8 minutes of play remaining, and it's Jerry Lynch to take this one. This one should be landing in around the edge of the square. Jerry kicks them very long, about 47 metres out from the Canovee goal. Spots the short one, gives it to Liam Ford. Liam Ford steadying, thinking about the 1-2 as a punt himself, dropping inside the 14-yard line. Up they go for it, the ball comes down. It's Ballyvourney man in possession. Shot across. Oh, hard look there. It was Kevin Lynch, I think. He got the ball, he got the break. He turned for goal. It whizzed, and even Eddie Lynch dived at the post, but it went alongside of it. And a major let off there for Canovee. A goal at that stage for Ballyvourney would really have put the cat among the pigeons. No joy, however, for the boys from the Gaeltacht, and it's still 7 points to 1-4 with 7.5 minutes of play left. Brendan Collin, a relieved Brendan Cochran, the goalkeeper, kicks this one out, lands about the 50. Diarmuid McCarthy beaten by Johnny Minan, and away comes Canovee again. Canovee looking very dangerous on the break. Good cornerback play by Mickey Lynch, getting out ahead of his man, and comes away an intelligent ball towards Donald Healy, moving out from the corner position to Diarmuid McCarthy, who started on the 40 and moved to midfield for the second half. Gets it towards Lynch. Diarmuid has a look at the goals. He's thinking about it. Spotted a man outside, but he'll have a go himself. He takes it on his own shoulders, and no wonder he would, because that's the unerring accuracy that has been Diarmuid Lynch all afternoon. And Ballyvourney go back into the lead with 6.5 minutes of play gone. 8 points for them, 1-4 for Canovee, and 6.5 minutes to go, the bare minimum between the sides. Remember, in the first half there were only 6 minutes of play left when Canovee struck for that goal. Can they come back to get the second goal? That would maybe put Ballyvourney away. Still, it's 1 point in the lead for the boys from Navanvaughan. 8 points to 1-4, a low kick out, but it bounces well for Canovee, and away they come again. Alan Butler lets that ball go beyond him. It comes into the corner here, where the corner forward for Canovee is the substitute, getting it into the centre towards Frank Welch. Frank Welch towards Tim Ballymurphy, and a very determined Paddy Murphy coming. Nice flick up there by Paddy. He got his foot to it, but the referee said that he tripped, and it's a free in for Canovee. It's about 52, 53 yards out from the Ballyvourney goal, and my watch says 24.5 gone, which would make 5.5 remaining. 1 point between the sides. Neva Bawn, Ballyvourney, Tao, Golini, a quick one towards Tim Barry Murphy. Tim, who had a great game in the semi-final, dropping this one in. Micheál Creedon holds it inside on the end line, and he comes out. He was tackled inside the small square, and the boys from Ballyvourney breathe a sigh of relief. They have raised the siege as Micheál Creedon was fouled until be a free out to Neva Bawn. 6 minutes remaining. Micheál Creedon with the puck out. We've had very few stoppages in the second half. They all donning a cap for the second half, looking into the sun. Did well to hold that one up. They go for it. Dermot Lynch gets it down to Alan Butler. It won't come for Alan. Quickly to Dermot again. And away come Ballyvourney. Dermot skips past him, and Jimmy DC seems to be dragging a leg. A low one up into the corner. It's Donal. It's Kevin, his brother Kevin. Kevin Lynch, delightful game in the All-Ireland Vocational Schools final. Gets it in towards the captain, Coleman Toomey. Coleman has plenty of experience, a full forward. Still goes through, gets it into Ballyvourney. But the ball goes the wrong side of the post again there from Donal Healy, I think, as Donal put it onto his left. And it goes the wrong side of the left hand upright. Canovee this time have the chance to breathe the sigh of relief. Brendan Cochran, the rush is on with the kick out. This one dropping on the 50. Johnny Lynch under it for Ballyvourney. Well led by Johnny Minehan. But there to tidy up is Diarmaid McCarthy playing a captain's park for Neva Bawn. A hand pass into dangerous space. Coleman Toomey can't read it well. There to tidy up is the other captain, that's Paddy Meegan. A ball into space for Canovee. Alan Butler does well to get back. Alan being surrounded gets it to Sean Kelleher. Sean Kelleher took the hand pass from Alan, but the linesman right on the spot said that Alan Butler had stepped out over the sideline, and it's a line ball to Canovee. The bare minimum between the sides. Less than 4 minutes to go of official time, as out comes John Granger. Socks down around the ankles. John, as I say, a hurler with UCC, won Fitzgibbon Cup medals, and one of the nucleus of the backbone of the Clodagh intermediate hurling team as well. John standing back. He'll kick it left footed. Up along the sideline, Sean Kelleher going for it. The ball breaks down inside. Johnny Allen going for it. So is Mickey Cuddy along the end line, very near the end line. Canovee man still in possession, but Johnny Allen to the rescue for Ballyvourney. Hand pass to Alan Butler. Allen faces his man. Will he round him? Yes, indeed, and drives the long ball up across halfway. Paddy Lynch and Teddy Dunn going for it. Donal Cronin wins a great ball for Neva Bawn. Moving into space. He's Dan Healy going outside him. Corey Inishé gets around Teddy Dunn, turns on his right. Two Ballyvourney men out there. One of them is Diarmaid Lynch, the other one is his brother, his younger brother Kevin. Diarmaid now inside the 14, steadying along, gets it into Donal Cronin. Onto his right, the number 12 has a pot and a punt, but it's not accurate enough, and it goes wide. 3 minutes of play remaining. Ballyvourney lead by 1 point, and that was a great chance for Donal Cronin, but today hasn't been Donal's match so far, and that one goes wide. 3 minutes to go. Will Ballyvourney hold out? Can Canovee pull it out of the fire? Out it comes in the centre of the field. Minehan and McCarthy. It's Minehan winning it. The ball on the ground. Paddy Murphy going for this one. There's a push in there in the centre of the field. Donald Buckley calls play back. Play seems to be gravitating towards the Ballyvourney side, and I think he's going to give the free out to Canovee. Yes, indeed. Back there goes Johnny Minehan. I think Johnny anxious to take this one. So is Eddie Lynch. Coleman Toomey around that ball as well. Nobody wanting to give away valuable inches, centimetres, as this one drops up between Liam Ford and John Barry Murphy. Alan Butler, what a super second half has had Alan Butler. A great ball out of defence, gives it to Dan Healy. In towards the other cornerback, Mickey Lynch, a storming second half. Paddy Lynch and Teddy Dunn. The old head winning that one. Teddy Dunn fouled as he tries to come out until they free out for Canovee. Teddy Dunn being shown where to place the ball by referee Donald Buckley, as we've gone to less than 2 minutes of the official time left. The bare minimum between the sides. 8 points to 1-4, or 8 points to 7 if you want it that way. And it's Eddie Lynch to take this one for Canovee. Excitement at fever pitch now. Paddy Lynch lets that one go, but it comes to John Sullivan. John Sullivan being fouled there, and Donald Buckley right on the spot shows Johnny Minehan where the ball will have to be placed, and Canovee inching rugby style down the field. This one comes again, racing for possession. Alan Butler beaten, but back there is Mickey Lynch. Mickey Lynch is still around it. Whooshed off it. Johnny Allen going for the ball. So is Frankie Welch. It's a battle to the death for this one over there in the corner. Canovee man gone to the ground. A push in the back and a free in for Canovee. Mickey Lynch back there as the Dan Healy back there protesting. Number 15, left corner forward on his back. He's now inside in the left corner forward, left corner back position at the moment. We've gone into 29 minutes. This is the last minute. 58 seconds to go as Tim Barry Murphy, who scored 11 points for Canovee in the semi-final, has never stood up to a more important kick. Will he go for it directly, or will he be content to try a short one, or will he lob it in around the house and maybe there's a goal there for Canovee? Tim knows the pressure is on. This one, being delayed as Donald Buckley having words inside there with over-exuberant, we'll say, players or protagonists from both sides. Tim Ballymurphy. Time ticking away for him. Donald Buckley putting Mickey Lynch's name into the book with one of the Canovee men. I can't see who it is. As according to my watch at this stage, there are 15 seconds of official time left. 8 points to 1-4. 8 points to 7. What will Tim Ballymurphy do? Will he be content to lob it in and hope for a goal, maybe? Will he try and put it directly over the bar? Very, very little time left. Surely this would be... It's not coming in directly. It goes that Donald Healy has the ball inside for Ballyvourney, and Ballyvourney get it out. That's Liam Ford, the left cornerback, being surrounded out along the wing. Down goes Donald Cronin. What will he do with this one? Mickey Lynch into the centre, and away comes Ballyvourney. Was that the swan song? Is it all over for Canovee? Is their proud and glorious tradition of 14 finals and 14 wins about to meet a fate? This is Ballyvourney captain. Hopefully it is. A great ball into David Lynch. Can David make it? No, because back there is Paddy Megan, the captain for Canovee, coming away to save the day. Into injury time now. Into the centre of the field. Paddy Lynch has never caught a more important ball for Ballyvourney. Donald Cronin, a wide is nearly as good as the goal. In it goes. Brendan Cochran off his line for Canovee. Back there inside is Kevin Lynch. Kevin Lynch content to foul. We have now gone 30 minutes and 50 seconds. Donald Buckley telling Brendan Cochran to kick it, bringing it on 14. Very, very little time left. Very few stoppages in the second half. Have Canovee shot their bolt? Or is there one last gasp in the boys from Carrigadrad? It's Teddy Dunn to take it. 21 yards out from his own goal. Up they go in the centre of the field. Two Canovee let go, but Corrady, who get all sheer. Ballyvourney for the 6th time ever have won the two-week cup. The two-week cup going west to Ballyvourney, 1928, 1967, 1970, 1971, 1973 and 1988. A great day in the history of Common Pellanevabon, and Diarmaid McCarthy will be a proud captain taking the cup home tonight. Back to Michael.
Clear on the sport tool to be own. Agus bobaram o cogasha who has an gairing board never ban agus Common Canovee mars on clay a hort dovshe and ukt. On behalf of the board in Muskerry, I want to congratulate Diarmaid McCarthy and his men of Ballyvourney on regaining the Muskerry trophy after a number of years in the wilderness. They have certainly shown by their grit and determination today that they not alone do they intend to win the Mid-Cork, but the county. Yeah. No. Well, also we must remember their opponents, Canovee, who gave a great and thrilling display right to the finish and never gave up hope. And there's always, the losers will be forgotten, but I hope they won't be forgotten on today's occasion. And once again, on behalf of Board Muskerry, Mocogarcha, to Diarmaid McCarthy, I was a Carrad in Erin Neverban.
Tá nás agus an óram an corna glacha is an fearn seo. Mar tá na chud obre dianta gan ar ina bliana has nímar a míanar agus tá míad gobar ó hin agus seo an deire leis is. An tas nó béadar ach bhailim cógáir agus íanamh leis na peladóí go léir a bhíh tréáil ó has nímar am líana. Gach duine a imar cluichí, gach duine a bhíh tréáil gach íthe agus na ránóirí bhailim cógáir agus blá siúd freisin ach go mór bhailim cógáir agus íanamh le colmán átóma. I'm very honoured indeed to accept the trophy on behalf of this team, especially because of the amount of work we put in all this year. This was our goal from the very start, to win a Mid-Cork, and that, we start from there again next week probably. But I would like to thank everybody who was involved all the year, players, selectors, but especially Coleman Toomey, who put so much work into it this year. He lived for Ballyvourney for the last 9 months, and I think he deserves an awful lot of credit. And finally, I'd like to thank Canovee for a marvellous game today. Great spirit, great football. In the end, we just got the breaks. So I'd like everybody to give them 3 rousing cheers. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Thanks very much.
Mata an Brodigan ele ta Ferran Clehe a Brunne na Pilidori. Cave Wigan pay on Ferran Clehe. Ferran Clehe. Alan Butler.
Come around the camera. You want to take it? Hold it.
I think the three judges had a unanimous decision in awarding to Alan today. I think he played great football, and he certainly did Ballyvourney proud today, and we congratulated him and all in Ballyvourney.
Congratulations, Alan. Well done.
Oh, here, that's the piece.
Well, now as you hear the Sunday game in the background, I think Padar O'Calla, the Rooney of Cumann Pellanevavon, had his own Sunday game this afternoon. Heart-stopping second half, Padar.
It was a very tough game. For a while we thought we wouldn't make it. We were playing against a breeze, and Canovee went ahead early with a point. The pressure was really on us, and it was up to our footballers to pull it out. And luckily on the day they pulled it out. Canovee, I'd say, maybe conceded too many frees, and we made a few switches which turned the game, and eventually we got our winning point. We missed a few ones away. We missed 2 goals in the second half. So we couldn't say we were lucky, I suppose, because we also missed some scores.
Yes, indeed. It looked at one stage of the match that you were actually kicking yourselves out of your 6th Mid-Cork final.
Yeah, we missed a lot of scores. We were playing against a slight breeze, of course, which makes scoring more difficult. And of course, when the pressure's on you in a Mid-Cork final, it isn't so easy to score points as you would in training and so on.
Talking about points, what kind of celebrations will be in Ballyvourney tonight?
Oh, my dear, they made a goal in the soccer. What they're doing.
Agus tílte go maithagah, cógáir agus sa fadar.
Ciad creibh ó 7 and ciad creibh Rosegrí ó 7 so
Cuinim go maithé.
Táimid, mis gimad tó hen liam agus táimid it's no le creibh an cúnta éinis.
Le cún of day, go mála go to fadar. Well, now in the Ballyvourney dressing room we have two Jerrys that have been here a long time at Ballyvourney. One of them is still here, that's Jerry Lynch playing in centre field today. Jerry, did you feel in the second half it was going away from you for a while?
No, the reason is why I didn't feel it was going away from us, because I knew when we came out after half time, holding him the first 10 minutes into the second half, I knew that the old Ballyvourney spirit was there. And what you were talking about in Ballyvourney spirit, and as I said previously in Radio the Gaeltacht yesterday, Canovee play the same sort of a ball game as us, so do Ballyvourney, but I think Ballyvourney down through the years have a little more spirit than Canovee in the end. The reason why, if we take the minor under 21 championships up, I reckon they've only beaten us twice out of 10 times. So they were talking previously to this, that Canovee had tradition. I think Ballyvourney had every much as tradition as Canovee. We're around a long time, there's great players there, and as I said today, if we win today, we could go on and win the county.
But then again, the balls that were going the wrong side of the post for a while in the second half, you must have been getting worried. Everybody else in Ballyvourney was anyway.
But as long as the balls were going the wrong side of Canovie's post, I know the ball wouldn't come down past centre field anyway. I'm as young as I look, sure.
And I know that. Well, now, with me is Jerry Lucy here as well, who was here in 73. Jerry, was it harder than 73 on the sideline today?
Much harder always looking at a match like that, you know. It was a very close, dour game. I thought Ballyvourney took a while to get going, probably due to the fact that we had so many young players on the team, you know. But this win today will do an awful lot for their confidence, and you'd never know what's ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure that with the forward line there was every kind of a permutation used there. They never really settled today.
Yeah, well, they didn't, but you know, I would say a lot of it is due to the Canovee backs. They played very, very well, close marking, you know, and they never allowed Ballyvourney into their stride. Now, as I said, a Mid-Cork final is a different game to any other game, and I would expect Ballyvourney to improve a good bit, you know, for the remainder of the championship.
Did you think that at half time that they were okay?
I did, yeah, I did. What I was afraid of, like last year, Canovee got away to a start and we seemed to be all the time trying to catch them. Today, we had the initiative and we were going forward. I was happy enough once Canovee didn't build up a lead in the first quarter now, which we would have been trying to get back for the rest of the games in. You know, I was pleased at half time.
Yeah, congratulations, Jerry. Are you hopeful for the county championship?
I'm very hopeful, you know. There's a lot of young players there. They play a nice brand of football. I'm very hopeful, yeah.
Thanks very much, Jerry. Well, Coleman, how do you feel after all that?
I feel great. I feel great. I think after this many years of trying and trying since 1977, we finally broke through. And I think this is a great team. I reckon that we'll go all the way to win the county.
How did you feel about going on yourself at that stage? What was running through your mind when you were coming onto the field after 6 minutes of the second half?
Well, I knew we were under severe pressure. We weren't scoring, we were under severe pressure. But I felt that the team really rallied, and particularly the backs, I think in the last 10 minutes, they played superbly. Absolutely. Ball after ball, they brought it out and played it. And I think in the end of the day, fitness told. I think fitness told in the end.
Definitely it did, but did you not feel that you were going to kick yourself out of it at any stage with those wides when you were very much on top? And there was only, remember, there were only 3 scores in the whole second half.
True, I know that. We could have kicked ourselves out of it. But I must admit that there were 2 goals set up, and they barely went wide in each side of the post. Had we got one of those goals, the game was over.
Yeah. What's going to happen tonight, Coleman?
We're going to have a good night tonight. We're assembly at 8:30 to the Mystic Cross, and we're going to have a few drinks. We're going to celebrate tonight.
And when is training starting again?
Training starting on Thursday night next at 7:15.
Thanks very much, Coleman. Cogorticus. Well, still here in the Ballyvourney dressing room, I have Dennis Lynch, a very proud Naval bondman, having played himself in '59, as far as I remember. It's a long time from then to 1988, a winning dressing room, didn't he?
Right. I enjoyed the game great. It was very good. They played very well.
So, how did you feel about it before the match? Were the 2 lads, Kevin and Dermot, were they nervous?
I mean, they're a bit young and they weren't nervous, no. They were kind of confident enough, but I mean, you wouldn't know how things would go on the industry. Canovee were fairly good. So
you weren't nervous halfway through the second half when they were still down a point?
I was, yeah. I thought Canovee might win it at that stage, like. But still, the team played very well and they finished a stronger team, like. Ballyvourney were the better team, like. But they made hard work with it, all right, like.
And now outside the Ballyvourney dressing room, the excitement is still very high. I have 2 ex-Ballyvourney footballers on my right and an ex-Ballyvourney coach on my left. It started Mick Scannell, who was in Croke Park with Cork when they last won All Ireland in 1973. I bet you it wasn't half as exciting as the second half today, Mick.
Well, for a Ballyvourney person, no. I think it's for a Ballyvourney person, this was the All Ireland, and it's absolutely tremendous for the club. And I'm particularly happy for the young footballers of the parish that we have this day to celebrate.
Well, yes, indeed. You're very involved in the underage section in Ballyvourney now, and you've seen a lot of them fellas who actually were making their debut in a Mid-Cork final today. You saw them coming up through the ranks. It must have been a great feeling for you.
Absolutely tremendous to see the performances of players like Dermot Lynch, Alan Butler, Kevin Lynch. You know, just to mention a few of the younger players that were in there today. It was, you know, they were really outstanding. Donald Cronin, man who suffered a lot with injuries during the year, he played exceptionally well today, and I was delighted for all of them. And as I say, I think it was a great occasion for the club and for the parish and for our young players.
Yes, indeed. And with me is Dermot Connell, who played in the 73 team that won the Mid-Cork the last time Ballyvourney won it, in fact, and went on to win the county. A visitor from Glanmire today, Dermot. How does it feel to be back?
Oh, delighted to be back. I was absolutely thrilled with the way the lads played, and I think they made hard work with it. I think they're a very, very good team, and I think it'll take a very good team to stop them all the way to the county at this stage.
And you were pleased with the way they played all through today?
Yes, I thought that they had some outstanding individual players. As Michael said there, Dermot Lynch, Alan Butler, some of the old crew, Jerry Free, and Paddy Lynch when he came on there. I think all these people over the years have showed tremendous spirit, dedication, and I think Ballyvourney is more than a football team. It's really, it's hard to say exactly what it is, but it's really almost like a movement. You have some outstanding commitment, some outstanding dedication to the game, and right through there, fellas were really encouraging one another, shouting one another on, and I think at the end of the day it was the commitment and the spirit that they showed that really brought it off for them.
Thanks very much, Dermot. Now I turn over to this side to you, Pod. It's been a great year for you with Coláiste Gumnathan and now Ballyvourney winning the Mid-Cork. What do you want out of the rest of the year?
Well, it would be a nice tribble if Cork could win on Sunday. But to get back to today's game, as Mick Scannell said, this is our All-Ireland, and it's grand to win with a young team. I can remember in '67 that Mick Scannell and Coleman Toomey, I think it's a terrific performance for Coleman to come out 21 years after winning his first Mid-Cork championship and come out and perform here today and perform quite well. And not only that, the credit I think for this year's upsurge is due to Coleman, because Coleman has been training them since the start of the year. We all know what Coleman has put into it himself as a player, but this time he has put it in as a coach, and certainly they lacked for nothing today on the field as regards fitness. Possibly they were a bit unlucky that the play didn't suit them, the type of game we had today. Canovee probably got us to play their type of game, which was probably a mistake on Ballyvourney's part. That we would have been better playing an open flowing game. We had the young lads to do it. We have excellent minors in Donald Cronin, Kevin Lynch, Diarmuid Lynch, Alan Butler, and Johnny Allen and Paddy Murphy, 2 under-21 lads who are only just gone beyond that age group. So it's great to see young lads coming on again. I see a future for Ballyvourney football. Ballyvourney, their first mid-Cork in '67, was a combination of old and young, more young maybe than today, but it still is great to see the young lads and the old lads holding up. Jerry Lynch and Diarmuid McCarthy must feel proud. Also, Micheál Creedon had a superb game today. I thought he kept us in it when things were going tough there in the first half.
Thanks very much, Pod. So there it is then, the story from the Castle Grounds today. Mid-Cork champions for 1988, Naomh Ballyvourney, and the final score, Naomh 8 points, and a very gallant Canovee 1 goal and 4. So the Corny Hooey going west to the Gaeltacht tonight, and Tá Kinte go meg ihe go maidin here in Ballyvourney Nocht. Slán agaibh.
Now, after all that mayhem in the Ballyvourney dressing room, we've come out to outside the pavilion here in Macroom to the more calmer surroundings, and standing beside me is perhaps the most delighted gentleman in the whole of Mid-Cork tonight. That's Diarmuid McCarthy, the captain of the Ballyvourney team, holding the Cornini, the Mid-Cork trophy. So, Diarmuid, first of all, congratulations. You must be absolutely thrilled.
I'm delighted indeed, and thanks very much.
That was a nerve-wracking game. No place for the faint-hearted in there today.
Oh, not at all, and you know, that is the tradition of Canovee, and there's a great tradition of rivalry between both teams, and I think it was shown out on the field today. There was great sportsmanship there, and in the end it was a very, very tough game, and we just got the breaks and got the winning point, and you know, it just could have gone the other way.
Now, I'm sure you must have been worried early in the second half there, because it looked to us up in the commentary position that you were going to kick yourselves out of the Mid-Cork final.
It looked very much like that, but having said that, you know, we didn't allow them many forays down into our backs, and I was reasonably pleased. I knew at some stage we were going to get those scores, and in the end they did come, and I think we limited Canovee to 1 point in the second half, as far as I know. But you know, as I say, it was a rip-roaring game, and it could have gone either way. I'm just delighted it went our way.
Now, that was your 6th time winning the title. The tradition that Canovee had before they came into today's final of winning 14 finals without having ever lost one. How big a bearing did that have on your way of thinking approaching today's final?
Well, I'd say it didn't have any bearing, really. Well, personally it had no bearing on me going out on the field, and I don't think it affected any of the other players. You know, I know it's a great tradition, but tradition and history are made you know, to be broken. And I'd say it didn't affect anybody going on the field. I wouldn't think so anyway.
Now, what's this win going to mean to the Ballyvourney team and to the parish of Ballyvourney?
Well, it's going to mean an awful lot, because we have a reasonably young team. We have good young fellas coming up, and you know, defeat today, whereas it wouldn't have been the end of the world, it would have put us back a fair bit. So winning this today has meant an awful lot. You know, you can see from the dressing rooms all the kids that were inside there, and they were delighted. Whereas if we had lost, they probably wouldn't have been there, and you know, it's a great experience for them. It was a great experience for our young players today, and I was delighted that Alan Butler got man of the match, because he's a player that really put in marvellous effort all the year. I don't think he missed one training session during the year, and I would like to congratulate him, and he deserves every bit of it.
Now, I'm sure you don't mind my saying so. You would be one of the senior members of the team. How long, in fact, have you been associated with Ballyvourney?
Well, I'm playing since 1967 at under 14, and it all started then, and I hope it goes on for another bit.
So you will be playing the winners of the East Cork team in the first round of the county. So how do you see yourselves going from here?
Well, you know, it's hard to know really. We don't know a whole lot about them, bar that you know, Immokalee have been doing very well of late, and they're not going to be bad teams coming out of there anymore, as in, you know, back in the mid-70s when a team from East Cork were easy meat. But I think them days are gone, and football is evening out an awful lot around the county, you know, and we just take every game as it comes, and I don't think we're going to get any easy games from now on.
Okay, Dermot, thank you very much. You're not really worried about East Cork tonight. All you're concerned about is the trophy you have in your hands and the celebrations that are to come. So, Dermot, thank you very much. Points for Canovee, but more importantly 8 points for Ballyvourney. My thanks to Liam Weir, who was helping me with the commentary, and to Christy O'Sullivan. And with that, from me, Michael Scanlon, it's good night.